6 weeks in Wyoming. Cattle contract, long hours, good money. Jack Carter had done it dozens of times. Leave the mountain property in Colorado, work the contract, come home. He turned onto his private road on a Tuesday morning expecting silence, pine trees, an open sky. What he found instead were cranes. A half-framed house sat in the middle of his land. Foundation poured, walls rising, a construction crew moving around like they owned the place, because apparently somebody had told them they did. Jack sat in his truck for a long moment, engine running, trying to make sense of what he was looking at. Every fence line was familiar, every tree, every angle of the mountain view. This was his property. He'd owned it for over 20 years. He got out and walked straight to the foreman. The man wasn't flustered at all. He explained calmly that the project had been fully approved by the local HOA, showed Jack a set of maps and permits, said everything was perfectly legal. The paperwork looked official enough at first glance, but the property lines didn't match what Jack knew by memory, and something in his gut told him to stop talking and start documenting. He reached into his truck and pulled out his deed. Jack had always kept his core property documents in a fireproof case behind the seat. 20-year habit. The deed had his name across every page, along with a legal description, the lot boundaries, and the original survey reference. He held it out. The HOA representatives barely glanced at it before insisting their records superseded his. That's when Linda Brooks stepped forward. HOA president. Confident, polished, clearly accustomed to winning these conversations quickly. She explained that the association had approved the project months earlier through proper channels. Every word she said raised a new question he couldn't get a straight answer to. Jack didn't argue. He drove to the county records office. The clerk pulled every file connected to his parcel. Transfer records, easement filings, ownership history going back to the original purchase. They went through all of it and found nothing. No sale, no transfer of any kind, no easement granting anyone the right to build on that land. Jack Carter was still listed as a sole legal owner of every acre, and not a single county document suggested otherwise. He called a real estate attorney before he left the parking lot. That same afternoon, they reviewed the HOA paperwork side by side with Jack's county records. The inconsistencies weren't subtle. The attorney ordered an independent survey immediately, a full GPS-assisted boundary measurement by a licensed team who had no connection to either party. The crew spent the better part of a day on the property. When the final report came back, it was unambiguous. Every corner of the structure, foundation to frame, sat entirely within Jack's legally recorded property lines. Not partially, not edging the boundary. Fully inside land that belonged to him. Survey stakes went in around the perimeter of the unfinished house. The confident voices on the HOA side got quiet very quickly. A formal legal notice halted all construction pending resolution of the ownership dispute. The heavy equipment shut down. For the first time since Jack had come home, his mountain property fell silent. Both sides appeared in county court within days. The judge wasn't interested in competing narratives. He wanted documents, deeds, surveys, county records, and the HOA's authorization paperwork. Both sides presented everything they had. Jack's attorney laid it out methodically. The original deed, the county ownership record, the independent survey, and the critical detail that no legal transfer of any kind appeared anywhere in the official record chain. The HOA's documents kept running into the same problem. When placed alongside official county records, their property line descriptions didn't hold up. Court questions became increasingly difficult for Linda's team to answer without contradicting their own paperwork. Jack walked down the courthouse steps that afternoon knowing the process was moving in the right direction, but also knowing it wasn't over. The written court order arrived the next morning. Construction officially suspended. Jack's ownership rights formally recognized while proceedings continued. His attorney called it the moment the case turned irreversible. Engineers inspected the structure over the following days, not to assign blame, but to assess whether the partially completed building could safely remain in place during the legal process. Their report was detailed and thorough. Contractors reviewed the findings. The path forward became clear. Once every required court approval had been issued, the demolition began. It was slow and controlled, licensed contractors, proper supervision, careful documentation at every stage. Jack watched from a distance as a structure that had appeared on his land without his knowledge came down the same way it should have gone up, under professional oversight, following a legal process with every step on the record. He felt no satisfaction in it, just finality. Then Linda showed up one last time. She handed his attorney a new filing, a claim arguing that Jack should bear some financial responsibility for the construction losses, despite the court proceedings that had established his ownership. Jack looked at the document, then looked at his attorney. His attorney smiled and said, "Let them try." 20 years of maintained records. An independent survey that matched county document precisely. A court order recognizing his ownership. And a paper trail so clean it had survived every challenge thrown at it. Jack drove back up to his property that evening and stood at the edge where the foundation had been. The ground was scarred but clearing. The mountain view was exactly as he remembered it, the same one that had told him the truth the moment he'd turned onto his road 6 weeks after leaving. This was his land. It always had been. And now every official record in the county said so too. The lesson wasn't complicated. Keep your documents. Know your boundaries. And when someone builds a house on your property while you're out of town, don't argue. Just go to the county records office and let 20 years of paperwork do the talking. If this story had you locked in, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications. New HOA battles every week. Drop a comment below. Where are you watching from?